Oh, I wasn't expecting for this what if to get so popular. Before I begin, I want to thank everybody for supporting this what if so much. I'm well aware that the first part was very similar to Masako's what if Gine went to Earth with Goku, but I swear this part's gonna be different. I will do a slight retcon on the power level. Bardock, before he left Planet Vegeta, will have a power level of 10,000, just like the Bardock from the TV special. However, after the 9-year time skip, Bardock is now at 23,750. Gine is at 1,200 and Kakarot is at 2,000. As many of you pointed out that Bardock and Kakarot were too weak, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. In the last part of this what if, Kakarot and Bulma had just begun their adventures, but this time they have an extra pair of hands. The trio quickly encounters a hungry pterodactyl and it is swiftly killed. Would they meet and help Turtle? I would say that they do, because Kakarot would be nice enough to help if he's asked. Remember, Gine and Gohan raised Kakarot to be a nice and polite child. Bardock and Bulma would be very hesitant to help Turtle, as this means that they have to stop the quest. But Kakarot picks up Turtle and begins to fly off. This causes Bardock to pick up Bulma without notice and chase after Kakarot. This makes Bulma blush and get all flustered. This means no bear thief trying to eat Turtle. As they set Turtle down, he promises to give him a reward for helping if they wait. Of course they wait, but Bardock states that from now on, they'll be flying instead of walking, as Bardock begins to meditate. Kakarot sits down next to him and begins meditating as well, almost falling asleep. As a few minutes later, Bulma points out that there's a Dragon Ball moving their way. Master Roshi shows up and he tries to give Kakarot the Flying Nimbus as a present for helping Turtle, but he doesn't need it since he can fly. They ask him for the Dragon Ball instead. He still asks for the panty shot, but Bardock decides to just swipe the ball away from Roshi. I think Roshi wouldn't try to fight him back, as he can sense that this guy's much stronger than he would be. After this, they head to Aru village, where they defeat Oolong and leave him there for punishment. Would they meet Yamcha? No, since they're flying, they can just pass over the desert, and there's no need for that. After this, they head over to Fire Mountain, where Ox King is about to send Chi-Chi off to look for Roshi. But as she is about to head out, Kakarot lands in front of her, introducing himself and asking about the Dragon Balls. This scares Chi-Chi, and she throws the blade thing on her head at Kakarot, which just shatters on impact. Ox King tries to fight Kakarot, but the Ox King is no match for Kakarot. After tiring him out, Ox King asks for the Banshu fan, to which Bardock throws a riot javelin right at the Fire Mountain. Under the rubble, Bulma finds the 6-star Dragon Ball. Just before they leave, Chi-Chi asks Kakarot if they'll ever see each other again, and Kakarot agrees, kind of hinting a little thing there. What about Monster Carrot? Well, he's left alone, as there's no need to stop by at that town, because they're kind of flying, they don't need gas or anything, so they just skip right over that. What about Emperor Pilaf and his gang? They've been defeated but not killed, so outside of Emperor Pilaf's castle, they summon the dragon. What does Bardock wish for? I believe his first wish would be for Shenron to give him the power of a Super Saiyan. But it's never stated if he's actually able to do this, so I'm gonna kind of, for the sake of the story, I'm gonna not give him Super Saiyan, so Shenron can't unlock his Super Saiyan ability, if you know what I mean. His second wish is to try to bring back Planet Vegeta and the Saiyans, but Shenron can't do that either, as he can't bring back the Saiyans because it's a group and they've been dead for more than 1 year. Bardock decides not to go through that wish, and his last attempt at a wish is to bring Raditz to Earth if he's still alive. Shenron is able to grant the wish. Raditz appears in front of Bardock, but then Bardock quickly takes off Raditz's scouter and turns it off. Bardock drops the scouter as he looks at his 2 sons. Bardock is very happy to see that his firstborn is still alive. Raditz is still very confused. He thought everybody was dead, but his father and brother are still alive. What's going on? Kakarot walks around Raditz, being like, so you're my brother. And Raditz smacks Kakarot down as he was beginning to annoy him. At this point, I think Raditz's power level would be around 650. It could be higher or lower. It's just a guess, since we don't have anything of Raditz before he was first introduced. Bardock tells the two that they've got to go home. Raditz asks Bardock if his mom is still alive, to which Bardock says yes, of course. Meanwhile, Bulma picks up the scouter. Kakarot gets up, rubbing his head, and asks Bulma if she needs a ride home. Bulma says yes as she looks at Raditz, thinking he's kinda cute. Kakarot picks up Bulma and they head out to West City. Raditz takes this time to explain what happened to him after the whole Planet Vegeta thing. Once they drop off Bulma, they head back home. Upon arriving at Mount Paozu, Raditz begins to ask if this is where they've been living for the past 9 years. As they're about to walk into the house, letting Raditz go first, Gine and Gohan walk out of the forest, just finishing their daily stroll. Gine notices that Bardock and Kakarot are back from their adventure. Kakarot runs to Gine and tells her that they've got someone who wants to meet her. Gine smiles and plays along as who would want to meet her. Gine looks up and her face is in disbelief. Next to Bardock stands her firstborn. Gine gives a smile as a tear runs down her cheek. Raditz runs and hugs his mother. Kakarot also joins in the hug, and with some hesitation, Bardock would as well. Meanwhile, deep in space, on Frieza's command center, Raditz's sudden teleportation doesn't go unnoticed by the prince. Vegeta and Nappa decide to see what happened to Raditz, and they head out to where his last known coordinates were. However, he's not top priority, so it's gonna take some time for them to get there. They'll be taking about a year and a couple of months to get to Earth. During the year, Bardock puts the two Saiyan kids through some hellish training, unaware that Vegeta and Nappa are coming. They would at least know that Vegeta and Nappa were still alive thanks to Raditz, but because of all this training, you know what that means, a power level increase. Gine has reached the 2000 power level mark, as she'd be a little more inclined to train now that Raditz is around and they're just training, so might as well bond with her child while he's here. Raditz, however, I think he'd be at the same power level he'd be at when he was first introduced. Kakarot, however, has reached the power level of 6000. And this is where I'm going to be leaving it off. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm still kind of iffy on the power levels, because I'm not... I don't know where they should be set at, but I think where I left them is good, considering everything. I mean, it's a lot more generous than I was originally going to give them, but potatoes. I'm going to leave a poll on the top right corner there. If you guys want a Raditz and Goku side story, you know, by this I mean that they're going to be taking on the Red Ribbon Army, since I didn't really cover that. And if you guys don't want that, I'll just cover that in the next story. I'll cover that in the next part. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time.